This week in kindergarten, we will be drawing a teepee and learning about a teepee. The reason why we are drawing a teepee this week is because it is Native American Indian Heritage Month. And this holiday is celebrated because Native American Indians have rich histories, their cultures, and important contributions of our nation's Native American Indian people. And since this is Native American Indian Heritage Month, teepees were a big part of the Plains Indians of the Native American Indian people. And their homes were teepees. And teepees were a type of Native American home. It is kind of like a tent that is a long cone shaped. As you can see, it's cone shaped. And it's made by Native American Indians of the Great Plains. They frequently moved from place to place following buffalo or other animals they hunted. They were made this way to be mobile so that they could take their homes with them. They would take their teepees home with them as they moved from place to place. And teepees were made by stretching buffalo skin that was, kind of made into a leather, waterproof material. And it was wrapped around wooden poles made from trees. And at the top, they were tied together with a flap at the top, which allowed smoke from the fires inside where they used to cook and stay warm. And the flap at the bottom was served as a doorway. It was used as a doorway. So this flap at the bottom down here was their doorway to get in and out. And teepees were put up in a circle, which symbolized life. And there's a short video that goes along with this that shows you all this, how they set them up in a circle. And you should enjoy that video. But for right now, we'll go ahead. This is just some teepees that we've done in the past. There's this one. And then there's this one. And your teepees can be whatever color your heart desires. It doesn't matter what colors you use. And then there's another one. My son colored this one. Because they could dye the leather fabric after a certain amount of time. And they did use symbols. They would put symbols and stuff on their teepees. And the circles are also symbols. And this is just their way of living for our Native American people. Some of them. Now, they did have other different types of houses, but like I said, the Plains Indians were the ones who mainly lived in teepees because of them moving around a lot, following their buffalo herds and stuff. So I'm just going to draw a cone shape, which we're going to start at the top and kind of bring a vertical line that comes out at the bottom. And it's basically going to be an upside down big V shape. So you're going to draw another line coming down So you do upside down V, that line coming out. And this space that you leave here, you're going to close it off with a curved line. It brings it on out to make it look round, like a cone, instead of going straight across. And then we're going to put our sticks up at the top, or our straight lines up at the top. But we're going to kind of come out vertically with them. One goes straight up and down, horizontally, and the other one goes kind of vertical. So that's our 3 sticks that we need coming out of the top. Depending on how big Native American teepees were, depending on how many poles, how many of these poles, sticks that they used to hold their houses up. Some of them had up to as many as 30 sticks that would hold those teepees up. Because they were so large. Just going to color this in. Like I said, you can just pick and choose whichever colors you want. And you can draw with whatever you want. Or preferably draw with a pencil first. And then, go back in and color with whatever material you have. Crayons, markers, coloring pencils, whatever you have. Come back in here with this. And keep in mind that all these shapes and stuff are symbols that they would put on their teepees, their houses, to sometimes maybe tell a story. And remember, a circle it symbolized life. For them. Color. Now, red is a color that's naturally found in earth. So they used a lot of reds. Black is another color naturally found in earth. They used a lot of blacks. Brown was a natural color found in earth. They used browns. White was a natural color found in earth. They did use a lot of white. And yellow. Yellow is a natural color just naturally found in earth. So they did use a lot of yellow. I'm just going to color our flap for our door black, because I'm sure that flap is usually a little darker on the inside, so it showed up darker. Now, we're going to talk about your horizon line. And remember, this is just review pretty much with all of this, because we've pretty much tried to add horizon lines to just about every picture that we've done with. That was, an outside picture creation. But your horizon line is your line for your ground, and which separates your ground from your background. So down here, where your teepee and your ground that it is sitting on, that is your foreground. It's called the foreground of your picture. And everything back here, and especially the sun, that is your background. So we're going to do our sun next. And as you can see, like I said, any colors you want, and you can decorate your teepee however you want. And then we're going to just add the sunshine up here, because the sun is symbolic to Native American people. So it is also used as a certain type of symbol. So once you have your sun colored in, and your sun can look however you want it. You can draw your sun however. And then you're going to finish coloring in your foreground, which should be green. And your background, which should be the color of the sky. And there you have your teepee for this week. And for Native American Indian Heritage Month.